You know what's funny? You mentioned principles and individual rights, and you talk about the attack on capitalism. I guess this is the way that we allow politicians to have control over us. And you made a remark, which I've read a lot of books on capitalism. I'm a huge fan of capitalism. That's why I'm so happy you connected the two. But you made an observation I've never seen made before, and I loved it. And that was when people attack greed. And, everyone's talking about companies for being greedy. And you say, well, what about the consumer? And I was like, oh, yes. I want this cake for cheaper than it is. I want to take this Uber ride cheaper. I loved it because you're showing that that's a natural element of human nature. And it's not just companies, it's everybody. So you want something cheaper than I make it. That's being greedy. And I just never seen that. So kudos to you. That was awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. I like to give people, again, because these are very heady concepts and everyone who talks about them is like so wonky about stuff. But like, really, this all just boils down to human nature and how do we address human nature. And so greed is the one I always find super funny because nobody thinks that they're greedy, right? Everybody thinks everyone else is being greedy. We're all greedy. It's human nature. And so to give you kind of the language to think about that and to support it. But the most important takeaway there is that if you believe people are fundamentally greedy, which by the way, they are, which is fine. It's part of human nature. Capitalism is the only, and I call it an unsystem because again, it's just free choice. It's not design. There is no system. It's just an unsystem, but it's the only unsystem that really harnesses and leverages that greed. They're the checks and balances that are inherent in it, that if people are greedy, there is a stopping point. And I'll lay out the kids in the book so you can read it. But the central planners, the socialists, the democratic socialists, like they just pretend greed doesn't exist. And their whole argument is, oh no, we're going to find Mother Teresa to come in and run things and then it's better and everybody's going to be taken care of. And like we have all of time in history to prove that that's just not the case. There's no example of that where that's the case. So we know people are greedy. We know people are going to take care of their friends and their cronies and families and want to secure power and things like that. So if you believe in that, you should believe in capitalism because that's what creates the best outcomes. We have all the data in the world to support that through all of time. And we know that these other things are like fantasy land. And so, that's the important sort of point around explaining concepts that people always talk about like greed, because yeah, it's true. We're all greedy. It's okay. We just need to know how is it that we are going to operate knowing that, human nature is a reality and we are not these like highly evolved beings that people like to pretend that we are.
If you like this content and want to hear other things like it, head on over to the website at blackmarketleadership.com. That's blackmarketleadership.com. There you can subscribe to the podcast and you can even create a free members profile